How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, the reason why we do this, maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions. Well, you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. Did you hear about the crook who stole a calendar? He got 12 months. I know it's super corny. Anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN, which ended up having a pullback inside of the choppy markets. And I want to make sure I give you guys an update video. So the first thing that we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance, or what are some levels we want to look forward to, especially with this choppy week we're going to be having. And then afterwards, we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on shares today? We're going to find that out because it can have an impact on the overall stock price. And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping in to the final thoughts. I didn't add anything from Fintel because there was nothing new, and I want to make sure I'm not wasting your time. So now let's jump into the technicals. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on a day. So it ended up closing at $7.31, being down 1.62%. On the low, it tested $7.21, and then on the high, testing $7.51. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 5.288 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 6.601 million shares. So we had a little bit below average volume on the day, but we're still continuing to be consistent in the range that we're trading in. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's right around 48.96, so it's pretty much in the middle there. Taking a look at our moving averages on the chart, we continue to have strength above the 200-day. We are below the 100-day, and as far as for the 21-day EMA and as well as the 50-day, we are below both of those. So for the most part, we want to be able to be above these moving averages, but as far as how the day went, it's not that bad. I was talking about if we do decide to pull back, we want to see that we end up having some support hold up right here around this $7.24 area. It ended up testing $7.21 on the day. It ended up showing some strength there, and we were able to close at 7:30. So going into tomorrow, we'd want to actually see some momentum so we can get back into actually testing some of these resistance levels. We talked about 770. You can see for today, our level was at 750. In the past, we had around 798, 795, and so forth. So automatically what this is telling us, hey, we are having lower levels. So if the market decides to be choppy, since like how it was for today, I'd want to see us have a strength here right at this $7 area. So this area of support is something that we've seen in the past already for OCGN. So while the market is being turbulent, that's an area we want to actually see hold up. If it does decide to make a move to the upside, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing OCGN getting above $7.51. Like I said, I want to see it getting back into the 770s, testing the 780s. And of course, you guys know that I want to see OCGN get to the $8 range due to the fact that it's a psychological area. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. We could see on the inflow, it was 6,134, and on the outflow, it was 7,711. On the large, it was 0 for both. On the medium, which is the inflow side, it was 3,265, and on the small, it was 2,869. On the outflow side, it was 4,534 on the medium, and then on the small, it was at 3,176. So of course, we end up having an outflow with surpluses in the medium and as well as in the small scale orders. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, we could see 0 for today, and we saw 0 on Friday and as well as Thursday, and we had an inflow day on the 1st, and then we also had 0 on the 31st as well. So institutions did not load up on any shares whatsoever for OCGN from what we can see from the data. Now, I am not too surprised about this due to the fact we're having some choppy conditions inside of the market and they want to make sure that they're managing their risk. So we want to see where is this price going to stabilize as this week progresses, because we do have key data that's going to be coming out for the week, especially CPI and so on. So the whole entire market, and also if we take into consideration the 10-year yields, again, there's a lot of factors here. We want to see where the price is actually going to be holding. Now, let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, when I did the video over the weekend, we saw that the short volume ratio was just over 60%. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the numbers will be later on in the evening. You guys can let me know inside of the comment section as well, because I know many others would like to know what those updated numbers are going to be. Due to the fact that it did pull back, it wasn't a surprise because we saw pullbacks going down overall for the biotech sector. Another stock that I talk about on this channel quite a bit, which is Senseonics, also pulled back. If we take a look at Moderna though, Moderna ended up having a strong day. And one of the reasons being is there was an update that said, hey, as far as for the Pfizer booster vaccine, it's going to be coming out after September the 20th. As far as Moderna, it's going to be a little bit of a delay, but they are going to be having boosters that are available. And also we do know they're working towards a FDA approval. So with all of that said, as far as for ocugen is concerned, we know it does have short squeeze potential, but we're also fully aware of the fact that we're waiting on that EUL. As soon as when that EUL ends up going through, we want to see some strength in the stock price. We want to see a move to the overall upside. Many are asking questions, hey, Pfizer, Moderna are so far ahead of OCGN right now. They even have boosters and so on. And I completely understand that. But right now, that is not my concern whatsoever. Well, my concern is on the fact is, hey, we need this WHO approval because I feel like it can bring some momentum inside of the stock. We know to expect it. It's going to be in the second week of September. Could there be a change? Most definitely. You might even have to extend it out another week if we don't end up getting a decision. But is there just some things that you want to prepare for? Anyone who has done their homework and has done their due diligence, again, seeing the price actually pull back might be a great opportunity for you to average down or to get in at a lower cost basis in regards to a starter position. But do understand, if we do not end up getting this approval and things don't go our way, this stock will pull back. We already know what happened when we didn't get the emergency use authorization. Now, as far as for this WHO approval, if we don't get that, I just want you to know what the risks are involved. And also, I want to kind of respond back to a comment a gentleman left like, oh my gosh, you only bought 500 shares of OCGN. You don't seem to be that confident whatsoever. That has nothing to do with it. I've told you guys when it comes to your portfolio, you want to make sure you limit your risk when it comes to risky penny stock plays, biotech plays that are depending on approvals and so on. So that's why I do not take a huge position in OCGN. I won't put 50% of my portfolio into one stock. That's just not the way I do things. So with my 500 shares, if OCGN ends up making the moves that it needs to make, which I'm looking forward for that $9 to that $10 level and so on, I'm going to be sitting really good in regards to profit, and I'm completely cool with that. As far as for yourself, you're going to be in a different situation. Many people have different amounts of shares, and again, when it comes to your overall preference, and if you have very high conviction, it also be dependent on your selection of stocks as well. But if you just have your whole portfolio in one or two stocks, you better make sure that as far as risk is concerned, you know how to manage it well, because the last thing that you want to do is go out there and blow up your account. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and it's part of the reasons why I'm very strategic when it comes to making investments. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.